Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I've been wanting to show you guys where I've been spending a lot of my time lately. I mentioned a few months ago after my mom's passing that we would most likely be moving in the near future, but we weren't exactly sure when that would happen, and since then I've been spending a lot of my time sort of retracing this same route that I've been driving for the last 15 years. It's just this little loop of back roads that kind of circles around my house, and it's the house that I am living in now, the house I grew up in with my brother and my parents. Obviously this house has always felt like home to me, but this little loop that I've driven over and over all these years, it's just as familiar and comforting as the actual house is. The whole area is full of farmland and woods and open fields. It's where I've spent so much of my alone time since I was old enough to drive. I would drive around and look for pictures. When I need time to myself, I like to just get in the truck and drive and bring a camera with me, and sometimes I don't even stop to make pictures. Sometimes I'm just framing things up in my mind as I'm driving by, and sometimes that's enough. But the last few months I've been spending so much time just soaking it all in and making as many pictures as I can. We know we're about to be moving in the very near future, and even though it's just 15 minutes down the road, this isn't going to be home anymore. I'm going to have a new home with new areas around it to find and frequent and sort of build a new little ritual for myself. So I've just been spending time driving these same roads, different days, different times of day, different weather, just giving myself time to look and respond to whatever I find, and it's been so therapeutic for me to just reflect out there, and it sort of feels like saying goodbye to like a part of me, or at least just a chapter of my life. Using the camera to tap into that and help understand and process things, that's something I've always done, but I don't know if it's ever felt like this before. So take that time when you can to chase whatever you're drawn to, whatever you're feeling, no matter how many times you've been to the same spot or what you think others will think of the work. Whether anybody else sees the pictures or not, again, it's not even about that. It's about you taking the time to tap into what it is that you're naturally drawn to, the kind of things that only you can speak to that other people can't because they don't have the same experience as you, the same point of view as you. I mean, I would love to make something from all of this. That's obviously sort of the goal, because I'm trying to really tap into that and tell a story and get the thoughts and feelings that I'm having to try and represent that in what it is I'm looking at. That's ultimately the goal. But I'm sitting on a ton of undeveloped film, and when I develop all of this stuff, that feeling that I have when I'm actually out there looking and making pictures, that feeling could be completely gone once I see everything. And even if that's the case, it's okay, because the way that this has helped me just be present and sit with everything as we've been going through such a big shift and going through so much grief, allowing myself the time to separate from, critiquing the work and deciding what it is or what it looks like or whether it's good or not. I don't want to disrupt what it is I'm getting out of this because of how much it's been helping me. And to be completely transparent, there is also a level of fear and insecurity in that. If you've ever seen Parks and Rec, where Ben Wyatt loses his job and spends all of this time working on his claymation, Requiem for a Tuesday, in his head it's a masterpiece, and then the reality sets in that he's just super depressed. And there is a thought of me in my head where I'm going to develop all of this film and all of these feelings that I've been having. I'm gonna look at it and just be like, this is it, this is all I've got.
And how can it not be longer?
But again, that's not the point. The point is just giving myself the opportunity to go out there with my camera and just process everything that I'm going through internally. It's been extremely helpful. And so many of you have said in the comments in the recent videos that, you can tell I'm feeling good and happy and everything. And I really appreciate that. It's good to know that you guys can see that, and I think that's why I wanted to share this, because this has been a big aspect of me, processing everything that I've been going through. Also, therapy is a huge part of this as well, so that has made a huge difference just in my overall mental health, and is honestly translated over really well when I'm actually out making pictures, and talking to my therapist about sort of that kind of headspace has been interesting as well. And also just you guys, like being able to talk about this with all of you. Like, I try to do whatever I can to reduce any kind of stigma around things, and I don't really know what it is I'm doing here on YouTube in the first place. Although I do think I'm making YouTube videos that I actually like for the first time, maybe ever, so that's kind of exciting. The point is, I have had plenty of times over the last few months where I have not felt great at all. I have hit probably the lowest I have ever been in my life at different times, and therapy and doing this sort of solo photography meditation kind of thing, those two things have made a world of difference. Talking with friends, obviously. Just don't let anything bottle up inside. That's really the whole point I want to make here. Look after yourself. Everybody deserves that. I hope this video brought you guys a little bit of peace out there on the back roads with me, to be able to bring you guys along to some of these places that are just simple and maybe nothing special to everybody else, but they mean a lot to me. Being able to do that is just the coolest thing of this whole thing we're doing here. So I'd love to talk to you guys about all of this in the comments down below. I love you guys very much. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and continuing to support this channel. I've been using Squarespace's service for my own website for years, way before they ever sponsored my channel, because they really are the best place to build your own website. No matter what your skill level is, with their drag and drop templates, everything is super easy to set up, and you can customize everything and still make it feel like your own. But if you do have questions with anything, they have 24/7 award-winning customer service that's always there to help. So if you're looking for a place to share your work, or maybe run an online store or an email newsletter, anything you need is built right into Squarespace's service. You can try their service out entirely free at squarespace.com, but when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/mattday. That'll get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.